She's not only a part of Team Isogenics, you guys, this girl's got a rockin' fitness body. She's been married to Scott for over 20 years. Somehow she has given birth to 3 beautiful boys. She's been recognized with Isogenics as a Woman of the Year, as a rising star, and she's just absolutely gonna light you guys up. So if you guys can please get on your feet and make some noise for Laura St.John.
Thank you so much, and thanks to Lauren and Michaela. How awesome was this morning getting a good overview of the product and experience? I was so honored when she said, Laura, will you start lighting up the rest of the afternoon, which would be more about unleashing your inner entrepreneur. So would it be cool for you if you heard a little bit more about my story? Yes. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but before Isogenics, I was really frustrated, stressed out, overwhelmed, imbalanced. I was frustrated because I was never seeing my husband. He was working really long hours. I had these 3 beautiful boys at home, and they'd wake up in the morning, he'd be gone. They'd go to sleep at night, and he still wouldn't be home yet. We were launching 3 gyms here in Denver, and I was stressed out over all the bills that were pouring in. My friend kept calling me and saying, Laura, you've been a closet user for Isogenics now for 4.5 years. Like, what is it? You now have such a launching pad to do this. Why aren't you sharing it? And I can't wait to share with you today a little bit more about why I kept saying no. So for all of you skeptics in the room, you can start to say yes. Because I have been putting the products in my body. Okay, I'm almost going to be 40 years old. My goal is to have guns like Kathy Cooper. One of my goals. She's amazing. She's such an inspiration to me. And, I just felt completely imbalanced because my life was just off kilter between, hey, wanting to be an entrepreneur and living the dream, yet living my life like I'm on vacation, and that wasn't happening. So finally, I'll tell you what happened. What really opened my eyes was not just, oh my goodness, you can make so much money with it. That's actually why I kept hanging up on it. Because that's not what motivates me. What motivated me was finally I shared it with a friend of mine who had a health scare. And 4 months later, she had lost a whole bunch of weight and said, Laura, this changed my life. You just helped save me. The doctor's saying all this amazing stuff. Come with me to an Isogenics University. Let's find out what's in this stuff. And that's what prompted me. But I realized that this could really change people's lives. Fast forward a little bit. Just about a year ago, I went last June to my first university. I grabbed my mom and we went to Isogenics celebration last August. Saw Peter Kelly on stage talking about the why. My mom and I have tears dripping down. And I said, this is it. This is what I've always wanted to do ever since I was a little girl, wanting to be an entrepreneur. And I'll just backtrack a minute. I thought I wanted to open an ice cream candy shop. I have the name of it, it's all picked out, it's actually still a dream. I talk about it with our 3 boys, and we might do that someday. But now we're talking about integrating Isogenics into that, because, who doesn't make an amazing shake that's like dessert, right? My favorite this morning, I mix in even the chocolate and mint with vanilla. I make a grasshopper shake. Okay, so I've taken that entrepreneurial spirit and now put it into Isogenics. Now, I met my husband about 20 years ago in college, and we created our why a long time ago. When I was 19 years old, we started dating, and we said, we should be living our life like we're on vacation. That's what life's made for. Let's live out west. We were in Connecticut at the time. What are we thinking? Let's move west together. Okay, we did that about 10 years after. Let's feel and look better with every single decade. And so now I'm turning 40, I look and feel better than I did at 30. So I'm working on it. I can't wait for 50. And most importantly, my why is these guys, our family, and being able to hop on a plane and go see my sisters in New Jersey, go travel together, and be there for life's precious moments. Not just the big milestones, not the graduations or the big events. I want to be there to capture those little guys and their little smiles and giggles every step of the way. So this is, for me, me, what I want to share with you is that I hung up on my friend Bethany who enrolled me for so many years saying, I'm too busy, I'm having another kid. I'm too busy, I'm opening another gym. I'm too busy, I'm doing this. I'm too busy, I'm doing that. And I just want to realize that we all have the same 24 hours. It's what we choose to do with them. So I'm going to talk with you a little bit about what changed my journey and how I became now busy in the last year with Isogenics. And it all comes out with how to really unleash your entrepreneurial skill set and what that means to you. So being an entrepreneur, like I said, I've dreamed of it ever since I was a little girl. But I want to ask you guys some shout outs. When you think of the word entrepreneur, what are some things that come to your mind? Just shout it out.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Creative.
Creative. Money.
Courage.
Courage.
Power.
Power.
Be your own boss.
BYOB. I love it. So all those things is what I thought too. Until I knew I was doing this speech. I'm like, let me just define entrepreneur. So I look at online, pull up the dictionary. An entrepreneur is one who organizes and manages in any enterprise, especially a business, usually with considerable initiative and risk. Okay, so I want to ask you, what's the one thing that we manage and organize every single day? Our lives, our time. Do we wake up in the morning? Do we breathe? Do we walk out our door and take some risk? Exactly. So your life is your business. You organize and you manage stuff every single day. We all choose different things to manage. So my question to you is, for those of you who are even thinking about getting into the business or thinking about getting into the business even further, is I want you to start really thinking about, what do you wake up and choose to manage? Because the day that I drew the line in the sand and realized that I could change hundreds and hundreds of lives, the day that you take ownership of what you choose to organize and manage on a daily basis is the day that you will really dive into Isogenics wholeheartedly. So for those of you, and I talked to a bunch of people as they came in, and I got to mingle out there in the front. It was really fun. You know, one of the people hit me because I remembered that exactly how I felt. She said, I feel really stuck. And, you know, that's why Isogenics has that typical, like, slides with the head stuck in the sand, because we've all been stuck at different points in our lives. And I really want you to think about, when you're choosing to manage, when you're choosing to organize stuff every single day, and you want a path to success, what are you choosing? Is your mind choosing thoughts and self-talk from past references? So if you feel like you're in a wheel and the same thing's happening over and over and over again, you're stuck in memory. And your memory is just going to keep pulling these reference points to you, saying, well, remember the last time you did this and it didn't work? And remember the last time you did that and that didn't work? You can't allow your mind to pull from memory. You have to start allowing your mind to pull from imagination, which is why you came here today. To listen to our stories, to let us breathe that belief in you, because we were there too. We were skeptical and we were all stuck. And the way that you do that is you start to create new reference points for your mind. And you do that, and you'll do it today, when you start to hear all of our different visions, and you start to think about what it would be like if you could do it, and how different your life would be. Your mind goes there. To me, I love seeing that success with a bright sun. I just love sunshine and positive light. But is it easy? It is not easy. Being an entrepreneur, you organize and you manage stuff every single day, whatever you choose to do. in whatever you do. But the path to success, if you're pulling from memory, you're gonna, as you go down this road, feel like everything is happening to you. You spill the coffee on the way to work, the cop pulls you over, Lauren.
True story.
Whatever happens, and she came in giggling this morning. Ah, the cop pulled me over. Like, and I know why. Because when you're on the path to success and you're pulling from the new reference points because you brightly see your vision and we can't wait for 2016 together, and you're linking arms with people that you can't wait to do it with, all those roadblocks, all those stones, all those sticks, all those cop cars that come out of you, that come out there on the road to try and hold you back, suddenly you don't feel like they're happening to you. You suddenly see life in a very different way. You start to see life as these things are happening for me. And they're happening for me, so I'm going to be stronger tomorrow. And I'm going to be an inspiration to someone else who's looking at me driving on that road. And when I get to that success and I see the sunlight, and for me that's my life on vacay with my toes in the sand seeing palm trees, whatever that is to you, it's going to be feel and look and smell and touch. It's going to be so much better because I worked hard to get there. But hard doesn't mean hard when you're having a ton of fun. So what truly then helps you get from where you are today to ultra mega successful? My life is so different in 1 year. I mean, a year ago, we were so stressed out over all these bills for launching 3 gyms that I literally had Chase Bank calling me being like, credit card bills, and being like, ah. A year later, I'm a private client. I walk in and all the fees are waived. And I'm like, what is going on? You know, when I was struggling, I got hit with everything. I was in that road that was everything was happening at me. Now, I'm on a different path because I chose to go there, and I'm on this different path, and all these things are making me stronger. The money and success follows when you do things right. And success is not about the right kind of just hard work. It's about this right kind of thinking. You really have to change your mindset. And what happens along the way that you'll really feel from all of us today is that what it takes to be successful versus on the path to ultra mega successful is belief. That is what will truly make your business explode. And when you have the belief that you can actually do it, and I literally could not even see out of anything last year until I started this journey, and I just believed. My mom was like, you're going to be on stage next August. And here we were. You have to fall in love with Isogenics. Falling in love. Okay, I'm here to talk about love because love and belief are emotions that come from here. And when you're stuck and you feel like everything's happening to you, you get stuck in your head. Passion, love, belief, all that has to come from your heart. So I'm going to talk to you about this because I see a lot of people that don't do this part right. And it drives me crazy because there's an easier way. People fall in love with Isogenics and they spew it out everywhere. It's on the car, on the Facebook, on this, on that, and it's come on, people, I love this stuff. Don't you get it? And the rest of the world's I don't get it. Just don't, you're weird. What are you doing? So what happens is you fall in love with it. You expect that other people are going to get your feeling. But they're stuck in their thinking. Okay, so that's why they think, what is this person doing? So let me give you an example with love. If you love someone, you love your boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, whatever, you can't go and tell someone, I love you, so love me back. You can't leave sticky notes everywhere saying, I love you, I love you. That's not going to make someone love you. Love is really an emotion, it's a reflection, and it's a feeling. that you have to transfer by showing. When you reflect a feeling, it's reflected back just like a mirror. You know that saying, like, they don't care how much you know till they know how much you care? This is that. Falling in love with Isagenix is not just simply liking the products and showing off your muscles. Loving Isagenix and falling in love with Isagenix is truly showing people how much you care about them and that this is truly a solution. So it's a thinking versus a feeling. And I really want you to think that Isagenix, just like love, is not a thinking. And I know all of you who get that. Isagenix is a feeling. And when that feeling gets inside of you, it's turned on like that light switch and you cannot shut it off. And you get it, and I see all of you nodding who get it, but then you get stuck on how do I transfer that feeling? How do I, like my friend Lauren said, let it ooze out naturally? So I have the secret to doing that. This is the how. Okay, you reflect the feeling. This is what took me 4 years, by aligning to the company's core values. Okay, you become internally motivated and externally focused. Personally, what drives me is family, fun, and freedom. The 3 F's. I would love to hear some shout outs. Choose 3 things that internally turn on that switch for you of feeling. What gets you psyched up? Just shout outs of these words. Purpose. Integrity. Gratitude. Contribution. This is what drives our company. Isagenix is founded, like Lauren said, on this amazing core principles. These people, when I went to my first Isagenix University and suddenly realized, okay, money is really good and it follows when you do things right, but when I finally realized that not only the products were amazing and I had to get everybody I knew who breathes on them, when I realized that the founders at their core came out of retirement, I'm like, who comes out of retirement? They could be having their life on vacay. Who comes out of retirement to make an impact on the world? I can align to that. Okay? Integrity. Oh my goodness, look at all these people up on stage. They're having so much fun. Fun. Look at the Cougars. Like, they got their son involved. This is all about family. I love when Kathy Cougar gets on stage and takes off her shoes and just is like, moms, get a helper, do this. Like, be home with your kids. I want to help you. Family. You have to find those 3 things that internally touch your heart. And you can find them right here at Isagenix. This basically covers everything good. I can't even imagine anything else that's missing from this company. And that is their core. At their core beliefs, I sat at corporate, I've gone to dinner with John Anderson. I mean, you sit with these people and they're like, we're in the life-changing business. I can get behind that. So what I want you to think about, and how it's going to ooze out of you, is you show people these 3 things that you love about our company, and you switch it. I've also now went from saying the company, their company. Notice how I'm saying our company? It's your company. It's another thing. Family. We're all one. I want you to think about one company, one team. We're all family. We're all connected. Love unites us. But be internally motivated with those 3 core concepts. Let those 3 things touch your heart, and then show people those things. So for me, fun, family, and freedom, if you like my Laura St.John Facebook page, that's what you're going to see, and that's who I'm going to attract. Hey, it's Friday. I mean, I have someone where I live who hardly knows me. He calls me Friday. He's like, every day's Friday to you. I'm like, I know. So, it's just amazing because I'm depicting fun all the time. I'm sitting by the pool being like, let's have a meeting at the pool. Let's have a meeting, here. It's just life's meant to be fun. So internally focused, externally motivated are the most successful people in Isagenix. because you know your 3 core values that you're going to show people, you choose them wisely, and you don't spew it out. You show people through your service. You show people through your social media. You show people through how you let it ooze out of you. But then external focus. I want you to take those, I want you to take 3 of these things and say, how am I externally focused? Meaning, I'm internally motivated by fun, family, and freedom. That's what drives me. That's what's going to get me there. That's what's going to wake me up in the morning. That's what's going to make me work harder. But as far as external focus is, how am I going to deliver that? If I was internally focused, I'd be doing it for me, for significance, for recognition, for money. But when you become externally focused and you start saying, how can I do this for other people? That's when I start pulling these other ones. Transformation. I love helping people grow and go through transformation. Not just before and after photos, but mindset. That's like my favorite thing, because I grew an education company before this. So my favorite thing is changing people's mindset and changing their lives. Transformation. I love innovation. My education technology company that I ran with my family was all about innovating. I love thinking, what if it was done this way? What if it was done that way? Innovation. But I bring it to other people. And health. I love bringing health to people. That's why we launch gyms. That's why we help people with nutrition. That's my external focus. And just align those things so strongly. Leave today. You should know these core values of Isogenics. Pick the 3 that are internal. Pick the 3 that are external. Make a match. Why am I doing this? Okay, this is what drives me. And this is how I'm going to help others. That's going to help you so much in sharing Isogenics. Because just like instead of just spewing it all out and saying, love me, love Isogenics, it's going to come so strong from your heart when you share it with other people. They're going to feel it. They're going to feel it. They're going to want to feel what you feel. Okay? If you don't have that belief yet because you're brand new, borrow it. Another favorite thing for me is that beliefs are emotion, just like love. And they come from here. They don't get stuck here. So what you're hearing today from me, from Lauren, from Laura Stevens, and from all of us that are coming up here, is that we borrowed it at one point. I remember sitting in the audience looking at people up at stage being like, I don't want to do that. I want my life to be different a year from now. And I borrowed from their belief because belief is a feeling, and feelings are contagious energy. They're transferable. You can transfer feeling. So borrow it from us until you have your own to transfer. And the more that you tap into what your beliefs are, what that internal motivation is for you, the stronger you'll be able to push that forward to others. And they'll find their own. It's like that's what makes me tick. I love helping people find that. And then watching them pass it on to others. That's how the business explodes. And then think about how you're communicating that. Oops. Effective communication. Like you guys are just up here now, and this is a real auditory kind of learning experience where you're just watching me and learning through what I'm saying. But 55% of my communication with you right now is through my body language. And how believable you believe I am is also through my tone of voice, 38%. That is 93% of all effective communication. 7% are the actual words. 7% is what makes you stuck in your head. What do I say? What am I going to answer? What website am I going to do? All these things are 7% of it. 93% is coming from here. And when you can transfer that via stories, connecting people with the right belief, you're going to take your business to a whole other level. You share it in your story. I loved when I heard Quinn a week ago say, like knowledge tells, stories sell. Your story is where you ooze into your belief. Be compliant. We want to keep isogenics around for hundreds of years so I can will my position to my kids. Right? So be compliant. Don't talk about, oh, I made X amount of money in this amount of months, or I lost exactly this amount of weight in this many days, or it fixed my migraines, or it did that. Okay, isogenics does amazing things. But just put it in your body and watch what happens. Because isogenics will bring you balance. That's all I tell people. Put it in your body. It'll bring you balance. If you need to lose weight, lose the weight. If you need to, have more energy, you'll get more energy. Whatever you need, it's going to give you. Just trust me. Just do it. Do it for you. I know I can help you. That's it. I used to talk to people for like an hour about Bionic Supreme and adaptogens and all these foreign language things. You don't need to go there. You could just share your belief through your story. So let me just talk about the story really fast. The 30-second story template that Isogenics University gave me, just in the last year that I've been doing Isogenics as a business, they have come insanely far on their tools. Isogenicsbusiness.com is a completely different website than it was a year ago. So kudos to Isogenics for all the development of constantly giving us these amazing things. The 30-second story template is 5 parts, and it could not get any easier. Before Isogenics, I was feeling. You bring in your negative emotion. Negative emotion is going to pull from people's hearts. I was stressed. I was frustrated. I was overwhelmed. I was imbalanced. I felt stuck. I was overweight. I was just this. I was that. Whatever it is, whatever you start with a negative emotion in your story, because everyone can relate to that. Everybody in their life has down spiraled at some point. And when you start down spiraling, everything goes wrong. I'm not eating right, so I'm not working out, now I'm going to choose this wrong thing and that wrong thing. You're on that road where everything is happening to you. So you want to pull people out of that by relating to them. You relate to them by talking about very simple 30-second story. Before Isogenics, I was blank, blank, blank. Be sure that you just fill in those negative emotions and you pull people in. It's the same thing with the Facebook post that goes online. I was feeling this, and that, and then I saw my friend. I was introduced to Isogenics by my dear friend Bethany. Okay? This girl, I could not even go to the coffee shop without her trying to sell me on this stuff for years. I was always like, no, I'll never do it. Till I was desperate to lose 10 pounds after I had my 3rd son. And she convinced me. I was a skeptic. I didn't want to spend more money. I was a clean eater. I was working out. My husband's like the gym guy. And she introduced this stuff to me, and I finally said, yes, I'll try it, because I was desperate. So it's so important that I want you guys to introduce who introduced you to it, because you're subliminally planting the seed of, I'm introducing this to you now, so who are you going to introduce it to? So you're subliminally saying, I didn't buy this at Costco, but I do tell people, if this was available at Costco, I would literally pull every family and friend that I had and say, get your Costco membership and go buy all these products. But you don't have to. This is awesome. They've partnered with the online thing, and just like Amazon, like Lauren said, we just do it online. So make sure you talk about who introduced it to you, and this is where I secretly slip in the typical objections, because I just am like, oh, I was this, I was skeptical of the money, and she just showed me that it would displace all of my regular costs of what food I was spending. I kind of throw that in there, because then it's not a power struggle with objections. I've been on the products for, 5 years now. But this could be anything. I have girls and guys who are like, I'm on the products for 4 days. I've never felt so good. This is amazing. You do not have to wait for a 30-day story. Okay, this thing about making a story is your story is unfolding as soon as you order it. You have a story that's about to unfold. It's just like what I talked about before. Instead of pulling from memory, you're developing your story from future imagination. So you start creating your story. Oh my gosh, I'm on this 4 days. It's like balancing me. It's going to be the most amazing thing. You've got to do it with me. I need support and accountability partners. This can happen at any phase. So talk about always how long you've been on the product and the results that you're seeing. And this is my favorite part. Take the results that you're seeing and flop it, like flip-flop from the negative emotion that you had earlier. Just take that very same verb or adjective and do the opposite. If you were stressed, you're now relieved. If you were unhappy, now you're psyched. If you were overwhelmed and imbalanced, now you're balanced. Just flip the opposite, and you're going to show people how their lives, you're showing them that they can be an example of possibility, just like you're showing them that you're an example of possibility. And what happens is this happens. The heart thing goes to their heart. As a result, I lost those 10 pounds, but more importantly, I never felt so amazing. My husband Scott and I, we looked at each other being like, how could the same products for me, for weight loss, work for you, for crushing it at the gym? What's in this stuff? Okay. So as a result, I felt amazing. I am now, and this is where you start to include your vision. I am now, I cannot believe how amazing I feel. I have to tell everybody. If I could be on the radio or television and scream it from the mountaintops, I would. I'm so excited to share this with you. So, know your 30-second story. Create different ones. That was sort of my product one. When I first started, you just heard my business one. Have an arsenal of stories. I call it my story toolkit. I have 10 stories in my head at all times. 3 weight loss, 3 energy performance, athlete ones, and 3 business ones. And my own. There's the 10. 3, 3, 3, and 1. Make it your own. If you have those 10 stories in your head and you can use them from the tools that you'll learn about today, you don't have to just meet everybody, although I really suggest that you guys on every single break talk to each other today about your stories. It just builds your arsenal of belief. You guys will be unstoppable. You then match the tool that you'll learn about today with the story. So you shared the story, you showed them that they could be their own story, you've painted that vision, you've transferred your belief, and you back it up with knowledge. And that's where the isogenics tools fit in. So to wrap this up, to get something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. I want you to align the what-ifs. Align what you truly, what if you could be on stage next year? What if you could have the life of your dreams with a complete abundance, life on vacation, doing whatever it is that drives you and whatever it is that you want. Match your desire with the why not. Why not you? Why not now? Your why not is going to come down to your belief. Because you're going to only talk yourself out of it if you don't believe in yourself. So make sure you align with the right people who are going to give you that attitude and effort and energy when you need it to boost you up, which is why this business is so amazing. So you really realize, you make that match, you close the gap, and you say, you know what, the why that Danny's going to talk about in a minute is just going to be the bridge that bridges you from what you desire, and from what you believe, and the why not, to the what if, to what you desire. You will get to that success. You will get to that sun at the end of that road. You will learn so much along the way. And the why and how strong and purposeful your why is what's going to give you that fuel in your car every single day. And when you truly can get that, and you dig so deep into those 3 core values from Isogenics and what drives you, you will know what inspires you. And it'll become such a pull, you'll attract so many people. And once you truly know what inspires you, you guys will have the impact to be able to inspire others. So thank you so much. as an example of possibility for one another. That's how I see the world. I just want to connect all of you. Because the more we connect and share our stories and just give each other that love and feeling and share those 3 core values with one another of this is what excites me, this is what gets me going, it's what's going to make us all unstoppable. And we need to help Isogenics crush Johnson & Johnson. So I'm so excited to introduce Danny Kelly. I met him in the summer when corporate was like, hey, Laura St.John, start up a board of directors with Lauren Sims. You guys are going to rock it. Let's put Colorado on the map. One team, Colorado. We met at a coffee shop, Scott and I and Danny and Lauren. And Danny's this awesome corporate guy. You could just tell, and you're going to see it on stage. He has over a decade of experience in leadership development, from working with CEOs and every level in an organization of management, how to just develop businesses. He's like the business brains. And, it's awesome to find great guys in this business, right? For all of you guys out there, women, we're such emotional creatures. Like, we want to like booze and pour things from our heart, and then you'll see when you meet my husband later. It's just, I'm like every shade of gray, and he's black and white, and I love like meeting people that are just can see it in a whole other way because he knows what inspires him. So I'm really excited to get some of the business training from Danny today.
Wonderful, everybody. Let's give her one more round of applause.